Saudi Arabia on Monday unveiled ambitious plans aimed at ending the kingdom's reliance on oil and transforming it into a global investment power. The Deputy Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, said Riyadh would raise the capital of its public investment fund to $2 trillion from $160 billion and would sell up to 5% of shares in state oil giant Aramco. The plans announced also included changes that would allow women to have a bigger economic role and by offering an improved status to resident expatriates. Saudi Arabia will introduce a green card system within 5 years to allow resident expatriates into the kingdom to have more rights in order to improve its investment climate. At the centre of the Vision 2030 reforms is the restructuring of its public investment fund, which, according to the Deputy Crown Prince, would become a hub for Saudi investment abroad, partly by raising money through selling shares in Aramco. The UAE's second telecom operator Du has posted a 1.4% fall in its first quarter net profit as tax to the government increased from a year ago. The company stated that its net profit, after it provisioned 23.6% of its net income as tax or royalty fees to the government, was 480.1 million dirhams in the first 3 months to March 31st. Net profit before royalty grew 10.4% to 1.02 billion dirhams compared to 925 million dirhams in 2015. Revenue for the first quarter increased 1.3% from a year earlier, reaching 3.09 billion dirhams. The company also revealed that its mobile revenue totaled 2.21 billion dirhams, a 0.9% decrease compared to the first quarter of 2015. Fixed revenue climbed 2.3% year-on-year to 630.3 million dirhams. Meanwhile, mobile data revenue increased by 8.9% to 779 million dirhams during the first quarter, with data contributing to 34% of mobile service revenue during the first quarter, an increase from 30.9% in the same period a year ago. Rising rents helped Emaar Malls' first quarter profit to jump 22% to 529 million dirhams, despite headwinds facing the wider retail sector. According to local reports, rental income grew by 14% to 833 million dirhams. The company, which gained shareholder approval for a 10% dividend at its annual general meeting last week, also said that occupancy levels remained robust, standing at about 96% across its malls. Emaar Mall's main asset remains Dubai Mall, which houses about 5.4 million square feet of the total 5.8 million square feet within Emaar Malls' current portfolio. A further 1 million square feet is currently being added through an extension of Dubai Mall, and there are plans for 120 million square feet of retail space at the new Dubai Creek Harbour district being developed through a joint venture with Dubai Holding. A report published by JLL earlier this month found that Dubai's retail supply pipeline increased by 235,000 square metres during the first quarter of 2016, due largely to the completion of Emaar Holdings' City Walks project. New mall space was also added in Al Wasl and Imsakim. The 23rd Arabian Travel Market, which is being held again this year until the 28th of April at the Dubai World Trade Center, comes at a time when many countries in the GCC and Middle East are looking for opportunities to boost their non-oil revenues, particularly through a renewed focus on the increasingly important economic sector of travel and tourism. While the local and regional presence is always one of the main focal points of ATM every year, the international pavilions also continue to attract a wide array of tourism organisations and hospitality groups. The German National Tourist Office, participating again this year, stated that it regards the GCC market as one of the most important in the world, reporting recently that 2015 saw GCC tourists surpass the 2 million overnight stays marker for the first time. Germany has seen its popularity rise significantly in the GCC as residents often look to plan their travel to escape from the excessive summer heat. According to figures supplied by the GNTO, the increase in overnight stays for the first 11 months of 2015 was 17.9% in comparison with the same period the year before, a target that, according to German officials, is set to increase this year.
We are are here at ATM this year, at ATM 2016. We brought 22 partners from different tourism regions, from travel agencies, airlines. The idea is like every year to represent Germany as a tourist destination in the ATM, Dubai or in the Gulf countries. The Gulf countries, we generate actually quite a big amount of overnight stays in Germany. So last year, 2015, we had an increase only from the Gulf states, which was actually over 2 million overnight stays. So we have noticed that Germany continues to be a preferred destination for the the Gulf Arabs, and that's the reason why we actually continue with our presence here in ATM and throughout the year in other marketing actions. The second most important reason why tourists travel to Germany, it's due to the landscape. So we decided this year in 2016 to approach the thematic nature and holidays in nature in Germany. So it's all about the parks, the nature, the different perspectives you can have in Germany rather than the cities. So you see in Germany we have 130 plus national parks. Some of them are actually UNESCO biosphere reserves, which means that a third of the country, and you must see how big the country it is, so a third of the country is actually covered by either reserves or by woodlands, so it's actually quite a big amount of green landscapes. So that's basically the thematic we are approaching this year. It's all about nature.